where we left off, we have our string running off the side of the barn where the fence will start and come out this way about 12 feet out. As you can see here, it'll come out about 12 feet. And then my other line will run straight down through here, and it goes about 80-ish feet down there. I'm going to probably stop around 80 just because it makes the most sense for me in my head that I'll have to do 10 posts. Then I'm done. Then I'll cut my corner. I have a little bit of wiggle room down there just because I have a big tree, and it's not really like absolute pertinent that I need to hit that mark at the end. I'm just going to kind of go until I hit 80-ish feet and then stop and see where I go from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive my stake in my corner. I'll drive that one in because that's going to be kind of my starting point from my barn all the way down to there. This one will probably end up being a little bit more than 8 feet, obviously, since I came out 12 feet. The main reason I came out 12 feet is I wanted to keep a driving path down through here. So if I need to bring a vehicle or anything else, I can get between my neighbor's property and then my property. So I have a little bit of wiggle room right there. So like I said, so I can take a vehicle down through here or whatever. There's going to be some gates and stuff too, which I meant to look at the plans again, specifically where we were putting gates and stuff for this paddock here, that the buck will stay in for the most part. But I will go ahead and drive this stake in, and then we'll get rolling. I'll roll out my tape measure, and then we'll start putting in stakes. All right, just like we talked about, I have my tape measure now rolled all the way to the end of where my fence line will be. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start with 0 right at your first stake or your corner post. Then you go to the 8 foot mark, drive in a stake, so on and so forth, every 8 feet. All right, so I wanted to talk about my new tool. This is my hand auger. I recently purchased, I got it off Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description. It's by Seymour. So I watched a bunch of people use this online. It looked like it was a lot easier than using a clamshell. So I'm gonna try it out and see how it works. I think the handle is 3 feet long, probably 4 feet long, maybe 4 foot long. We'll say it's 4 foot long. I'll measure this, so then I'll know. I want to go about 3 feet in the ground, so I'll measure on this pipe about where 3 feet is, so then I know exactly how far down in the ground I've gone. So I've encountered a lot of rocks in my holes. The tool is working really well. It's augering right down. I'm barely putting any effort into it. It actually helps when I don't actually put a lot of pressure on the top of it and just kind of twist the tool and let it kind of work its magic. So it's working well. The problem is I have a lot of rocks. It's very rocky. We have a lot of limestone in this area. So I'm gonna actually have to get a digging iron. I currently don't own one, so I'm gonna call a few people, see if they have one that I can borrow. If they have one that I can borrow, then I should be good. I'll borrow theirs, and then we can get back to digging those holes. I was hoping to have all those holes dug by the end of the day, but it's not looking good since I don't have the proper tools. And that was one thing that I even told myself that I needed and potentially needed before I started this project, but I just didn't. I just never went out and got it. So I may have to run out here. Hi, ducks. What's going on, guys? And pigs. We'll say hi to the pigs. Hi, piggies. They're hanging out, so I'm gonna go see if we can get that digging iron, and then we'll get back to smashing up some holes. All right, we're back. I went to Harbor Freight, got myself a 17 pound digging iron. So what this will do, this will help me get these rocks out of these holes, and it even has a tamper on the end for the post holes, which is nice to be able to put down inside of them. So we'll continue on. I'll start time-lapsing again so you guys can kind of see the process. It will take me a while. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so I'm hoping I got about an hour and a half about an hour and a half until the sun goes down. It's pretty cloud covered right now, so it's nice. It's not super hot. It's not super cold, so it's really nice. I did refer back to my plan, aka my wife, and she did confirm that about at the end of where the paddock will go, we're going to have a gate, but luckily we're only going to do a smaller gate. We're only going to do like an 8 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot gate, so I won't have to change anything. All my posts will stay the same as I already had them laid out. So we'll go down through here every 8 feet. We'll do them. I'll capture the time lapse. Hopefully you guys will see the time lapse. The last time I tried to upload time lapse, for some reason it wasn't working. It wasn't working with the software I use. So we will see if it works. But either way, I will talk to you guys when I get through this. About 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on our 5th hole of 10. It's going pretty good. The rocks are a little bit of a pain.
I can count to 10.
I know you can.
1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfect. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So we're about 5 in. I was hoping to get done before sun goes down, but it's 3:30 now. I'm hoping to get a couple more. I'm going to cut the time lapse off. I'm just going to keep digging, and I will give an update once I get done with these. It's going pretty good. The tool's working really well. When I get down to the red clay is a little bit tougher than I thought it was going to be. It gets stuck in there. It's tough to go through it and everything else. So it kind of.
Did you see my hand?
I did see your hand, and I see you.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tougher. I mean, I think it works better. I think it works better than a clamshell, personally. Watch out for the holes, baby. It works better than a clamshell, in my opinion. I mean, the red clay gets stuck in there just like it does with a clamshell, and then it's a little bit of a pain, but I've gotten used to it at this point. It's working really well. Thank you. The digging iron does really good with the roots, but as far as rocks go, I tried to knock some of them out. Just some of the holes aren't going to be as deep as I want. So probably what I'll end up doing is I'll make the top of it a little bit wider to try to give it a little bit more stability when we put the concrete in there. So then it'll actually hold that post a little bit tighter and actually make it a little bit more sturdy once it's in there. But I'm not going to be, some of them, I mean, it's a rock bed right here. As you can see, like here's two or three really big rocks right here. And it kind of led into this hole right here, which probably is about 2 feet down, maybe 2.5 feet. I was trying to get to around 3 for each one. The ones that I can get down, I'm getting down to 3 feet. The ones that I can't, it kind of is what it is right now. So we're going to continue on doing this, and then I'll give you guys an update when I finish for the day. I forgot to flip my camera around on my phone, so most of the footage I shot last night when I finished up was just me talking to Black. So I got 6 in. Like I said, the last one had a lot of rocks and stuff in it, so that one took me a little bit longer. I went this morning to the co-op. I got 20 posts and 330 foot of fence. So that's all set and ready to go, as well as some concrete. I got my wheelbarrow ready. So I'm going to kind of shift a little bit, just looking at kind of what we want to do, what we need to move, and what we need to go after. Is I need to get the buck out of my field, so I need to get his paddock area kind of built. So I've already made it. I've made it to the end of kind of where his paddock will be, which will be this post here, and then it'll actually cut across this field, somewhere over in that stake area, and then there'll be kind of a gate right in here. I believe is where we talked about doing a gate. So we'll kind of continue on digging holes. I'm going to kind of dig them down through here. I'm going to get shots as I can. Luckily I got the truck here today, so I can actually use it as a tripod for the day. So we'll have that, and I can set it up, and I'm just going to kind of keep on working and try to get, I'll have to run my string and everything, get my lines off the barn and everything else, but same concept as before. Run your straight line, just make sure you're straight, or as straight as possible when you're running that line, and then you get a little bit of wiggle room with your posts. I should say I did get the 4 to 5 7 foot posts. So there'll be a little bit of wiggle room in there, especially for the concrete to set and everything else to get in there. So I'll have plenty of room for concrete in there. We'll get those set eventually. I don't know if I'll get to concrete today. I'm going to hopefully try to finish up the holes. I do have rain potentially coming around 4 o'clock is what it said it was going to start raining. And I usually don't get a lot of time in the mornings to actually get a lot of work done until the afternoon. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to try to get this line and the back line there set and ready to go, and we'll keep going from there. We did it. So I got all the holes dug. I decided kind of calling an audible over here. I'm actually gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm gonna actually just run boards. I think this is 12 feet. If I remember correctly, I measured this off 12 feet. So I can run a 12-foot board connected into the side of this post. Then I don't have to worry about digging any more holes out here. It should be fine. I've got some 12-foot boards up in the barn that the goats didn't really seem to bother and they didn't really knock down. So I think it's gonna be fine. I can put up some bracing on it, stuff like that. I think it's gonna be great. And it'll also kind of match the other side because I'm gonna run some boards a long ways. So it'll kind of keep it uniform on either side of the barn, and it'll make it a little bit easier to tie into the side of the barn. Just because if you try to put in a post really close to the barn, A, it's really difficult to get in there. B, it does leave a little bit of a gap. And like if you know anything about goats will get out of anything. So what I started doing here is I started laying my posts in the ground. As you can see, they're kind of up and down. Some are a little bit deeper than I really needed to go, but I'll just make sure I have about 5 feet out of the ground. These are 7-foot posts. So I want about 3 feet of that post down in the ground, set in concrete, to just make sure it's nice and stable for that fence to be able to hold. It's a 4-foot fence that gives me about a 1 foot gap above, which is perfect. Eventually I talked about maybe running some board to actually make it about 5 feet, because hopefully we're going to get some animals that need a little bit of taller fencing. So we ended up doing, how many holes was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 holes. 12 holes. I only ran into one really major issue, which if the time lapse works, you guys will see. I'll kind of show you what happened here. Yeah, maybe you can see. So what happened is there's a humongous rock to the left of this. So I tried knocking it out. It wouldn't come out. So I actually had to go just to the right of it. And so it kind of shifted my line off. It's not going to be a huge deal. It just won't be a straight line all the way down through here. It'll shift off because this is actually where my gate will be. So it's not a huge deal. So my actual straight run will be down through here. So I'm still straight here. I had to shift kind of everything over. I eyeballed it. I didn't feel like getting the string back out and running it, running new string. So what now I'll do is I'll take the truck. I'll drive down through here. I'll drop posts in every spot and get them all in their respective holes just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'll get the old boss to sign off on everything, and then we will potentially mix up some concrete. It is 4 o'clock now. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen today or not. So that's probably all I'm going to get done today. It is starting to sprinkle and the sun is quickly setting because it's 4:30 now. But I'm hoping that it's not raining tomorrow and I actually get out here and mix some concrete and actually get these all set, because then they have to set for 24 hours before I'm really going to even be able to pull any fence on that. And Monday is fastly approaching to head back to work, and then I won't get anything done once I go back to work, or at least a lot less. So thanks for watching the channel. Like and subscribe down below, and hope you guys like it. And I'll keep doing these videos, and we'll see where it goes. This will be the, I think this is going to be a fencing channel right now until we kind of get past this. But I just wanted to kind of show you what we do here on the farm, how we do it. Hopefully give you guys some ideas. By no means am I like the expert of all experts. I do a lot of research online before I do anything to make sure I'm doing it correctly. And hopefully I can pass along some of that information to you guys too about what I do. And hopefully you'll get the ideas and everything, and then blah, 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 blah. Then you can do it yourself too. So thanks for watching. See ya.